A little black thing among the snow, crying weep, weep in notes of woe. Where are thy father and mother? Say, they're both gone up to the church to pray. Because I was happy upon the heath, and smiled among the winter snow, they clad me in the clothes of death, and taught me to sing the notes of woe. And because I am happy, and dance and sing, they think me they have done me no injury, and are gone to praise God and his priest and king, who make a heaven of our misery.
The Chimney Sweeper was inspired partly by when William Blake used to see young chimney sweeper boys being threatened and bullied by their owners and forced into starvation unless they did what they were supposed to. In the poem Chimney Sweeper from Songs of Experience, the narrator runs into a small soot-covered boy who he originally doesn't know as a boy, as he refers to him as a thing. He then demands to know where his mother and father is. The little boy responds that they have gone up to the church to pray. He then talks about how he used to be very happy before he was a chimney sweeper. He even has beliefs that his parents made him become a chimney sweeper because he was so happy. Despite this, he still continues his happiness, as he seems to have accepted his fate and his role as a chimney sweeper to provide for his family. And it's because he's happy, he feels like that his parents have no remorse or ill feeling for leading him into what we now know as an imminent death. This poem then goes back to the parents at the church, who are praying to God, the King, and the priests. From this, it is ambiguous as to how the boy truly feels about his situation. And so, in the Chimney Sweeper from Songs of Innocence, the young boys make up a fantasy in which, even though they die, they can go to heaven, where God will be their new father. However, in the theme for Songs of Experience, it seems as though the boy does not fall into this fairy tale. He says that the God, priest, and king make up a heaven of their misery, in which it seems as though they cover positivity over their tragic ending and what is their imminent death.
William Blake was born November 28, 757, in London, England. He was the third of 7 children, and as a boy wandered around the London streets seeing all sorts of poverty. He attended school long enough to become literate until his mother pulled him out at the age of 10 to be taught at home. Being encouraged artistically by his parents, at the age of 14 he was sent to Parr's drawing school. After that, he began training with the engraver James Bazire for engraving. Engraving is a print made from engraved plates, blocks, or other hard surfaces. Bazire eventually sent Blake to Westminster Abbey to begin future drawing projects. And the macabre of the Abbey was so interesting and intriguing to Blake that was the beginning of his romantic imagination. Blake later on was introduced to a couple by a mutual friend who encouraged him to publish a small volume of his early poems, and gave credit to his brother Robert for learning how to illustrate those poems. That encouragement from his brother led to the plates that he drew and engraved for Songs of Innocence and Experience. The poems from Songs of Innocence and Songs of Experience were meant to be read together as if they were contrary states to the human soul. They were about the same issue, just from 2 different viewpoints.
My emotional reaction to the Chimney Sweeper from Songs of Experience was kind of sad, I guess. I felt bad for the little boy, the little black thing among the snow, as it's described in the poem, because of how he was treated as a child and forced into labor by his own parents, especially. And the poem in its first two lines, just talks about the sound the child makes, weep, weep, and notes of woe, describing his sadness. And that's one thing that really pulled at mine and my colleagues' heartstrings, so to speak. Another thing that I reacted to was how the child acted happy for his parents, and because he smiled and danced and sang, they thought they had done him no harm, and that kind of puts a question in my mind of, did he do that just to make them feel better about themselves? Why did he do that? And even though he was obviously not happy with his life, he still acted as if he was, to make his parents feel better, who were in church praying for him. And that was just kind of my reaction to the poem. Just, I guess, sympathy would be a good word for it. And I guess my colleagues probably feel the same, sympathetic, and that's about it.
The purpose of the meter in a poem is to keep the flow. That a meter to a poem is like a beat to a song. However, the meter throughout the Chimney Sweeper is not consistent throughout. One line reads, "And smiled among the winter's snow." This incorporates what is called iambic tetrameter, which means that there are 4 sets of syllables, each alternating between unstressed and stress. And smiled among the winter's snow. Now, although other lines in the poem are very different, they all incorporate the iamb. Another line in the poem reads, "A little black thing in the snow." Although iambs make up the first 2 sets of syllables, the third one has what's called a crochet. It is kind of the opposite of an iamb, in which it is first stressed and then unstressed. A little black thing among the snow. Lastly, a line that incorporates iambs is line 8, which reads, "And taught me to sing in the notes of woe." After the first set of iambs, there's 2 unstressed syllables followed by 1 stressed syllable. This is what's called anapestic. And taught me to sing the notes of woe. The reason why Blake may have used iambs in his poem is because of this. The da-dum of iamb is similar to a heartbeat, which is a naturally occurring meter beat throughout nature. It also is similar to a walking beat. The reason for the iambs is because it's easy for the reader to capture the beat, because it is similar to one that has been heard. The format of the poem is 3 quatrain stanza. This means it has 3 paragraphs with 4 lines each. The rhyme of the poem has a simple A-B-A-B, C-A-C-A, D-E-D-E format. The C rhyme of the second stanza has what's called a slant rhyme. This means that the words heat and death appear as though they should rhyme, but do not. The A rhyme of the first and second stanza appears twice. The word snow and woe has a reverse alliteration, in which the last part of the word rhymes. Snow and woe also appear ironically set the theme of the poem. The white snow sits as a contrast to the soot-covered boy who is so dark he is unnoticeable to the narrator. Woe captures the boy's feeling as a chimney sweeper and transitions to a slight anger at those who he feels responsible for his fate.
Little black thing among the snow, crying weep, weep, in notes of woe. Where are thy father and mother, say? They are both gone up to the church to pray. Because I was happy upon the heath, and smiled among the winter's snow, they clothed me in clothes of death, and taught me to sing the notes of woe. And because I am happy and dance and sing, they think they have done me no injury, and are gone to praise God and his priest and king, who make up the heaven of our misery.